Hello, everybody, and hope everyone's doing dandy. And welcome to the very first edition of Just My Opinion with Kyle Bowles. And I am Kyle Bowles. Really tickled that everybody could join us tonight. What this show is going to be about is we're going to roll through quickly a few hot sports topics and maybe a couple of things a little bit off center of sports. But I'll give my opinion, and we hope you have one that you want to share back with us. We welcome the feedback. So if you feel differently, do not hesitate to let us know because, hey, that's just your opinion. But let's get to my opinion. And let's talk about the recent United States men's basketball team that just won a gold medal with quite a run in France, including defeating France in the championship game. A lot of people are saying, oh, man, the old dream team was so much better. They would have spoke these teams. The starters would have been sitting by halftime, this, that, and the other. Not true. I do believe that this team would have beat the old dream team. And I know, guess what? I was old enough to watch it. And it was an older Larry Bird. It was not as good Magic Johnson. They had Michael. Their best player in the Olympics was truthfully Charles Barkley. But I do not believe that they could have hung with this team. This team was built to play any kind of team that was thrown at them. And back in that days of the old dream team, all the countries combined had non-NBA players. This year, there were 61 NBA players on different teams. And, Canada had they had NBA All-Stars. These teams were no joke. And it was quite a win for the American men this year. And I think that the people who thought that they were playing games that were too tight and stuff just really don't know the game. But that's just my opinion. And also, along those lines, a lot of people are chirping that Steph Curry should have been your MVP. Hey, let's give it up. Steph was Mr. Clutch. If there was a Mr. Clutch, Steph Curry's your winner. He was big. The semifinal game, he went off with 36. And, of course, everybody will always remember exactly where they were, what they were doing, and watching Steph's heroic three-point barrage in the gold medal game against France, when the last shot especially was just a moon ball. But for the whole run, and this goes back past the pool play, this goes back to the exhibition games, LeBron has been the heart and soul of that team. Has played consistent, more consistent than anybody. He's double digits every night in points. He's 8 to 10 assists. He's 8 to 10 rebounds. He's electrifying the crowd and really involving all of his teammates. I've seen his teammates say that LeBron was very deserving of the MVP. Kevin Durant was bashing people online for saying stupid things about LeBron. LeBron should have won that MVP. LeBron was the best player on the team over the course of all the games. That's just my opinion. If you feel differently, let us know. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Just My Opinion, and we'll jump right from the men's team to the ladies' team. Let's talk about the U.S. national women's team that just won a gold medal, defeating France by 1 point in an instant classic, 67-66. At the outset of these games, before the games even began and the rosters were announced, there was a lot of scuttlebutt about why Caitlin Clark was not included on the United States roster. And for that matter, Angel Reese as well. But the bigger, more notable name was Clark at the time, and still is. She's the most notable name in the league, truthfully. But Clark was omitted from the roster, and at the time, a lot of people were not happy and said people would not be watching the games, the girls' basketball games. And they were right. At the outset of this tournament, there was some very low attendance and viewership. But as the tournament went on and on, our girls played better and better, and people got aboard. And kudos to the Olympic organizers who chose to put the ladies' game on as the final event of the Olympics. Would have been easy to put the men on, but no, they did the ladies a solid and put them on last, and the ladies shined. It was amazing. That game was incredible. But the future is bright. You'll have Caitlin Clark. You'll have Angel Reese in 2028. And looking back right now, you could have had them right now. Diana Taurasi, what a career. 4-time gold medalist now. But Diana Taurasi, by the end of the games, was just a coach. She could have coached without putting on a uniform and taking a spot up. They started her game 1, but she couldn't defend. She's still a very good player, but she's not elite anymore. And I think she took a roster spot that could have been others, but I get having her leadership around. Should Caitlin Clark have been on this team? This is coming off a gold medal. It's hard to argue with success, but even Dawn Staley said in hindsight about a week ago that at the level Clark was playing at currently, she would have been on this team if she had been playing that way when they assembled the team. Caitlin Clark, regardless of a gold medal won by this year's team, should have been on the ladies' gold medal winning team. That's just my opinion. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Just My Opinion with Kyle Bowles. We're going to dive right into my strike zone. That's pro wrestling. Talk about a few different things. First, let's start off with John Cena's retirement. John Cena has announced that he will wrestle his last 30 or 40 dates in 2025, wrestling past WrestleMania, which will be his last WrestleMania, but his tour will continue past that. Said it'd be his last Elimination Chamber, amongst other things. Should John Cena win the coveted 17th title to take Flair and have more than Flair or tie Flair, all those things, what should happen here? Should John Cena, who's had an amazing career, be the guy who has more world title reigns than Ric Flair? I don't know. I don't think so. There's only one Ric Flair. John Cena winning a world championship this late in his career, to me, would seem almost not real. Like more of a, we appreciate you, it's been a great run, than him being your world champion. He could prove me wrong. John Cena's proven a lot of people wrong, but my opinion would be this: John Cena should not win the world championship, and Nature Boy Ric Flair should still be the man who held the title more than anybody, had more reigns than anybody. That's just my opinion. AEW, let's hit that real quick. Toni Storm. What is up with Toni Storm? This girl's hot as a firecracker. She went from the biggest heel in the company on the women's side to easily the biggest babyface. What an amazing run from Toni Storm. She has really taken AEW's women division away from the Britt Bakers, who I love. I love Britt Baker, but don't get me wrong. Storm is the person in that division. Saraya, remember when she came? Oh, Saraya. Saraya sucks. She's awful. How about Monet, Mercedes Monet? She has go-away heat like nobody's business. CEO, you need to go. When you're piping in chants, that is awful. Bryan Danielson says he'll need neck surgery for the end of 2024. Man, what a career. I expect a banger at All In. What a match that should be between him and Swerve. And I would not be surprised if Bryan Danielson does not win that match. He's never had an AEW world title run. And even if it's a short one, I think Bryan Danielson wins that match and then probably loses in New York. But that's just my opinion. And finally, let's talk about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has come back. How do you book this? My man came through and beat the hell out of the whole bloodline. I guess somewhere lurking in the background is The Rock. But right now, these guys look overmatched with the exception of Jacob Fatu, who is on the shelf. I can easily see the bloodline, the new bloodline, replacing Solo Sikoa very soon. There seems to be a lot of discord, just very subtle discord, but it's everywhere. There almost looked to be hesitation about putting the thing around his neck last week at the end of SmackDown, like he wasn't the guy. I think Sikoa's on his way out. I also think The Rock will face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and give us the match that did not go down last year. and the path will begin at Survivor Series. Solo Sikoa will not be the leader of the new bloodline for very long, and obviously the Usos at some point will reunite with the real original tribal chief Roman Reigns. That's just my opinion. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the